As always, welcome back everyone. Let's solve LeetCode 349, intersection of two arrays. Given two integer arrays, nums1 and nums2, return an array of their intersection. Each element and the result must be unique, and you may return the result in any order. So what does an intersection mean? All it means is both arrays share a common value, right? So example 1, very straightforward, the output is 2. Example 2 here, notice how 4 and 9 both appear in both of these nums arrays. And another important thing to mention too is notice how I don't have duplicates, right? We track them once and we return the intersection of the two arrays. All right, the constraints here are very straightforward. Let's go to the drawing board to understand our approach. So there's actually two ways you can solve this. You can do sorting, and you can use a hash set, or you can use a hash map. Okay, we're gonna take this approach and I'll be using a hash set. So the logic is we're going to convert nums1 into a set. So we'll say we'll say nums1 is equal to a set nums1. So nums1 will look something like this, right? 1 and 2. It removes all the duplicates and keeps just the unique characters, right? And then next, we're going to iterate through nums2 now and check if that value is in the set, okay? If it is, we're going to add it to an array called output, okay? And in this case it is, so it's inside of that output array. And then we increment our pointer here. Actually, before we increment our pointer, we're going to remove the value from the set, okay? Because now when we increment our pointer and we get here to the second value, which is 2, so we have a duplicate, we check, is that value inside of this set? It's not, right? And then once we're done with our loop, we just return the output. And that's the approach, okay? So let me go ahead and get my function signature and body. So intersection two arrays takes in nums1 and takes in nums2, right? So we have nums1 here. So nums1 is equal to a set nums1, okay? And then we have our output array. So output, we define it as empty in the beginning, okay? And now for num and nums2, if the num is in our nums1, the set, right? Then we're gonna say output append that num, all right? And then we're gonna say nums1 remove that num, right? Okay, and then finally, we'll just return the output. So I'll go ahead and do a dry run, and I'll do this example this time, okay? So let's go ahead and start our iteration here. So let me represent this nums1 now. So nums1 is gonna look like this. It's gonna be a set. So nums1 will have a 4, 5, and 9 in there. So I'll just copy these values, all right? And then we're gonna do this iteration through nums2, right? So for num and nums2, so we're gonna go here. I'll create a variable as well. So let's use a pink, and it'll just be this circle, okay? All right, so for num and nums2, if num is in nums1, is this guy in here? Oh, it is, right? So we say output.append this number, right? So this goes inside of our output. So output will take this guy in. And what else do? We remove it from the set, right? So we remove this guy. So I'll just erase it. We continue with our for loop. We get here. Okay, so is this num here? Is that inside of our set? It's not, right? So we don't hit this case. We continue on with our for loop. We get here. Is this inside of our set? 8 is not inside of our set, right? So we don't hit this. We get here. It looks, yeah, okay. Yeah, so we get here. Is 9 inside of our set? It is, right? So we go ahead and we append 9. I'll make a copy of it. So we append 9 to our output, just like that. Okay, and then we remove it, right? We remove this guy. So this is gone, and we continue with our for loop, right? We get here. Is 9 inside of our set? It's not, because we removed it from that last iteration. Continue with the for loop. We get here, and at this point we're done with the entire for loop, and we return the output, right? And that's the expected answer. It can be in any order as long as it has those unique values. So let's head on over to LeetCode, and let's go ahead and convert nums1 into a set. All right, and then we're going to create our output array that will be returning at the end. So we're going to iterate through nums2 now, and if the current num and nums2, if that is located inside of our nums1 set, we're going to go ahead and append that to our output. And very important, right? We need to remove that value, that num value, from our nums1 set. And at the very end, we can just return the output, okay? So let's run the initial test cases. They pass. Let's submit this. We have a working solution. That's great. Let's go discuss the time and the space complexity. So the time complexity is n plus m, where n is the size of nums1, m is the size of nums2. And why? Because just because we're converting nums1 into a set, that doesn't mean that we're not using any extra memory or time, right? So this set function here is causing the big O of n time and the big O of n space as well. So let me go ahead and mention that. So the space is big O of n plus n. And let me finish off with the time too. It's plus m because we're doing this for loop through nums2, right? And the space is O of n, where n is the size of nums1 because we convert it to a set. That takes memory to do. And the space is big O is also plus m as well. So the total space is O of n plus m. Because what if the output array, depending on who your interviewer is, let's say they don't count it as auxiliary space, the output array could be the size of both nums1 and nums2. Because imagine if nums1 looks something like this, 1, 2, 3, and nums2 also looked like this, 1, 2, 3. The output would also be 1, 2, 3, right? Because they all intersect. So the time is big O of n plus m, and the space is big O of n plus n. As always, whatever platform you're on, like, comment, subscribe, follow, and I'll catch you in the next one.